Anyway,
So tell me, what do you? Go ahead.
yeah. Hi, my name is Martel, and I'm here with uh, Eloy Villamil.
Eloy Villamil, yeah.
Did I pronounce that? Eloy
Yeah,
Villamil?
got it right.
Wow. And well, we're here in his office, in the excellent real estate office here in the city of Cerritos, and we just stopped by to ask him a few questions regarding success in real estate and how to be one of the top agents in real estate. So I thought I'd interview him and share with you guys his success in real estate. Eloy, thank you very much for the time taken to do this interview. And I want to ask you, how, what got you started in real estate? What got you into this game?
Actually, you know what? It was more than anything the necessity that I had for making more money,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because it came once at a point where I was actually being together with my current wife now, my actual wife, and at that point, we were boyfriend and girlfriend,
Mm-hmm.
and she wanted to get married, so
Oh.
finally.
Oh, so when you
Yeah.
you heard that marriage, that means more expense, more.
Well, the thing is that we had been together for so long, for 6 years,
Mm-hmm.
and she wanted to get married, but we didn't have any money,
Oh wow.
so we didn't really have enough money. So one of the things was, and we came out with the idea because one of our friends told us, you should get into real estate. You're gonna have the ability to make a lot more money, right?
Yeah.
So we decided to jump into real estate with that goal in mind. We're gonna go into real estate, so we have the ability to make the money that we need, so we can pay for the wedding.
Right.
And
Oh, wow.
obviously,
Okay.
a wedding is gonna cost you a lot of money.
Oh yeah,
And
I can
so,
imagine.
so during that time, with everything that we had planned and said, um, it was gonna cost about $25,000,
Wow.
and that was money we didn't really have.
That's
We
oh
didn't,
wow.
we didn't have that money, right?
I didn't realize
So-
what is that. I didn't realize they were that expensive. I didn't.
Yeah. So
Wow.
we wanted to invite people from our family from Mexico, people to come over to the wedding, and one of the things that we didn't want to do is we didn't want to have any help from anybody. Like we didn't want to have padrinos or other people to get money out of their pocket to
Yeah.
cover for our wedding expenses.
I understand. Yeah,
So
right.
we decided that we were going to take on the challenge and we were going to do it ourselves.
Mhm.
So that was the reason why we decided to get into real estate.
So both of you got into it at the same time.
Well, it was actually my wife that got into the business first.
Mm-hmm.
She started doing loans, so she got into doing the loans, and I went and got a job
Mm-hmm.
to kind of pay for the expenses
Mhm.
during the time that she was learning on knowing how to do the loans and everything.
Wow. So is that something that you recommend? Like me, for example, I'm not a licensed real estate agent, and we were talking earlier about it. I'm thinking about getting a license, but I imagine that before you get into that, would you say that it's better to have like some money saved up first before you get into real estate, in case? Because I'm guessing
Yeah.
it takes a while. to
Yeah,
make
so
a
so
sale.
definitely, yeah. If you want to get into real estate, one of the things that you want to do is you want to start saving money,
Mm.
and it really depends on the expenses that you have. It really depends on the expenses you have. If you have, I don't know what's every person has different
Expenses. And
expenses and income necessities on a monthly basis.
income. Mhm.
So what I would recommend is if you're going to get into real estate and you're going to come full time, which is what I recommend. If you're going to go into real estate, don't do it part time. Go in at full time. Go 100% into real estate.
Wow. Okay.
What is the reason that you want to go 100% is because you want to burn the bridges that you have.
Mhm.
Like you want to go into real estate and you want to see real estate is your only option. There's nothing else.
Right.
A lot of people come into the business with the idea that I'm gonna go into real estate and I'm gonna see if it's working or if it's gonna work out for me.
I get it.
You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And then they come and they do it for 1 month and they see that it's kind of difficult and that they don't get the results and that it wasn't really what they thought it was gonna be,
Right.
because obviously any new change in your life, any new career in your life, becomes a challenge,
Yeah.
right? So my advice is, if you're gonna go into real estate, go full time and
Okay.
have at least 6 months
6 months.
of reserves.
Mhm.
That's what that's the way that you want to do it. Or if you have a partner, or if you're married,
Mhm.
then maybe your wife can go first, or maybe you can go first and
Oh.
have your wife's income to supplement the expenses of your household.
Mhm.
That's the best advice I can give you
Well,
for
that's pretty
someone new.
I mean, it certainly makes sense. I mean, very, especially in this career, because it's not like a regular job where you get a steady paycheck. It's more commission based or profit based, and you never know when you're gonna get that. So
Right.
that certainly makes sense. And I want to ask you, how long have you been in this business?
I've been in real estate. This is gonna be my 8th year.
8 years.
Yeah.
Wow, 8 years. That's pretty good. That's quite a while now.
Yeah, it's quite some time now.
Wow. And during those 8 years, did you ever have a time where it was just difficult, or you felt like quitting, or did you ever have that maybe early in your career?
Mm, maybe at the beginning, because I came into the market when the market was like going down in 2007.
Oh wow.
So back in '07, at the end of the year, that's when the subprime market went away.
Mm.
That's when I remember back in 2007, around November time, they pulled out the plug. They pulled the plug from all those lending institutions.
Mm.
So a lot of the business that was in the pipeline, it just didn't happen. So that's when the market went down. There wasn't as many, production to be generated on those years. So a lot of people started getting out of the business. Many of the people that I knew in the business, they actually decided to walk away. I want to say 80% of people that I knew that had been in real estate longer than me, because that was my first year into the business.
Mm.
They saw the market, melting down, and they just decided to go away.
Oh wow. So that I can imagine that's pretty weird, because you're coming in, and when you're coming in, people are getting out. You're like, oh.
Right. So that was kind of, in a sense, it was very difficult for me, because at that point, that's when I was really scared. I didn't really know what to do. So I was like, should I continue into this business when everyone is walking away,
Yeah.
or should I go in and give it all I got? So I make the decision that I was going to give everything I had, go 100% into the business,
Mhm.
and it became something very good for me. It became a very successful career, and I don't regret that I had the ability to go for it and give it my 100% into it.
And since you started, were you always with this company with Excellence, or
No.
different company?
Different company. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, that was scary time. I mean, even I remember I had most of my savings in the Washington Mutual Bank.
Mhm.
And when I heard that Washington Mutual was going bankrupt, I'm like, man, should I take my money out or whatever? Now it became Chase and everything. And you hear this big company disappearing, Circuit City, or,
Right.
that was a pretty scary time.
Yeah. So a lot of companies went down, and the same thing happened in real estate.
Yeah, and really did too. I remember in the news, people would say, "Oh, it's not good to be in real estate. It's not very good. The market's down. And well, that's very good that you jumped in there and went ahead. It didn't matter what." One thing that I want to ask you: do you have some type of a morning ritual where you know, do some kind of affirmation or anything like that? Do you?
I have right there. If you look at it, that's my daily schedule.
Oh wow.
So I go through that,
Hmm.
and then I also have my goals for the year. So every morning I go through the goals that I have throughout the year.
Wow, that's pretty good. Because you always hear that a lot. A lot of successful people say, "Oh, it's good to have a morning ritual. Wake up, read your goal, do some affirmations or stuff like that." And I also want to ask you, like, in that case, do you have a? I mean, are you the kind of person that wakes up early, or?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, what time do you normally go to sleep and then you
So
wake up?
I usually go to sleep late. Like I don't go to sleep very early.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, typically I go to sleep around 11:30 p.m. But I wake up early. I wake up around 5:20.
Wow. That's that's the thing that I'm having trouble with, because I hear people, okay, you need to wake up early, or but then I hear other people, well, you need to get plenty of sleep. So in order to get plenty of sleep, I'm like, well, you gotta wake up a little bit late or whatever, So that's something that
Well, I mean, it's either that's where you got to make the choice. I
Mhm.
mean, what I've seen is that most successful people, they always wake up early.
Mhm.
So majority of the successful people are waking up early every day,
Mhm.
and then the ones that do want to have more sleep, what people recommend is having at least 7 to 8 hours of sleep,
Mhm.
which I don't really have that many. I'm kind of like right around there when I go to sleep, like around 10:30 or 11. But you can go to sleep early. I mean, if you really want to if you need to have 8 hours of sleep, then
Okay.
you can go to sleep around 10 and wake up around 5 a.m.
5 o'clock.
Or go to sleep. I know people that go to sleep at 9 p.m. and they wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. Wow. That's a lot. That's very weird. I mean, that's not very much sleep, but I guess it depends on somebody. Like you say, they can sleep late or early and still make
Yeah.
it that way.
I mean, as long as you have 7, 8 hours of sleep, you should be fine.
Wow, that's pretty cool. And so also, what keeps you what keeps you going in the game? Do you? I mean, I imagine you probably have days where you don't really feel like working, or are you always on fire? Are you always?
To be quite honest with you, I do have some days that I don't want to I don't want to wake up. I don't want to come to the office. But one of the things that really makes me and keeps me committed to coming to the office is that uh, there's many other people that depend on me. So and it's not only just my kids that depend on me, but I see it as also the people that we represent in the business, the sellers that we work with, the buyers that we work with, the customers, the future customers that we have, the agents in my office, the people that work with me. I see it as they're all somehow depend on me, and if I'm not here and in the office, and if I stop coming, then the whole business can collapse.
Oh yeah.
Or fall apart. So in a sense, maybe it won't even collapse because they have the ability to do everything on their own.
Mm-hmm.
But I do feel like it's not really about me anymore. It's more like I have to be here because I'm helping everybody else accomplish one dream or goal that they have in life.
Right.
So that's what keeps me going every single day.
Yeah, you think about it and you're like, oh, gotta work, I gotta wake up and get moving. That's pretty good. That's actually, I think people sometimes when they have family or somebody that they depend on, it keeps them motivated as well. I suppose someone that's just alone with nobody might be a little bit, difficult for them or something. So, and what about books? Do you have any favorite books that you like, or you're currently reading, or you have read in the past?
We actually I just finished reading one book with Failing Forward. That's the name of the book.
Which one is it?
Failing Forward,
Never heard
and that's by John C. Maxwell. And right now we're reading Unfair Advantage by Robert Kiyosaki.
Oh wow, yeah, I read that book. That's a pretty good book too.
Yeah, so I like to always be reading. So every time that I put one book down, I'm starting a new one. And so I always I go from the beginning to the end. Once I finish that book, then I go into a new one. So I have a goal to read a minimum of 12 books a year.
Wow.
So that's like my minimum.
One book a month.
One book a month, yeah. So that's my goal. Sometimes I go over that because I like to also have the audiobooks in my car.
Mm-hmm.
So as I'm driving somewhere or going to one place, then I'm listening to the audiobooks. or I'm just reviewing like the same books that I read in the past.
Mhm.
Like if I see that there is a book, or if I like one book, and I got a lot from it, then I would buy it into an audiobook and play it in my car, or just buy it on my phone. Now there's actually apps now
Yeah,
where you can
technology.
just get it on the phone, and then you can Bluetooth it into the car, and you're able to play it.
I heard of one app. I don't know the name of the app, but there's an app where you can read the book, and then when you finish reading it, you can continue in your car. You press continue, and it'll continue audio where you
Right.
left out when you read it.
Yeah,
So you can
that's
read it and
yeah.
listen to
This is that's the one that I have.
it. Is
it's,
it Audible? Is that one?
It's actually it's through the Audible, but when you download the Kindle,
Mhm. Oh,
so that
okay.
would be the Kindle.
Kindle,
So
Kindle app.
the Kindle app merged it together with the audio.
Oh, so someone.
So
Oh, okay.
so what I like about it is that if you're going to, let's say you're already on page 200,
Mhm.
and you just want to play, you don't want to read it, you just want to listen to it in your car,
Mhm.
it would take you from page 200 when you hit the play. So it's not like you have to go back and start from the beginning.
Right.
It kind of like keeps it together with the page.
Uh-huh.
So as you're moving forward on the page,
Right.
it's moving forward on the audio version.
Wow.
So it makes it pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Technology, man.
it's a
If
very
you-
good experience. You're
if you-
going with that.
If you tell this to somebody back in 1985, they'd be like blown away by it, you know?
Right. So it's just it blows me up. How many things we have available now, and a lot of a lot of people are not really taking advantage of it.
Yeah.
So that's also one thing that if you really take advantage of everything that is out there,
Hmm.
it would really help you become more successful in your business or career.
That is true. That. You know, I go to if you go to YouTube, sometimes you'll see YouTube, some self motivation speaker like Jim Rome. Have you heard of Jim?
Yeah.
If you one his video probably have like 60,000 views, but then you go to Britney Spears, 1 million views. Trillion views.
Right.
So and it's like, man, that's pretty weird. A lot of people don't watch these kinds that they should be watching. They rather watch entertainment stuff, and anyway, that's one observation that I thought was pretty.
Right.
Weird.
Definitely.
And is there let me see what I said. Oh, was there ever a moment in your life where you had some kind of like very negative obstacle that kind of stopped you from doing this, but you kept on going anyway? Is there anything that happened in like maybe like a tragedy in your life where you felt it was gonna make you stop this business, but you kept on going anyway?
You know what? Nothing has. I have never really. I think we all have problems and issues throughout our life,
Mm-hmm.
but it really depends on the way and the power that you give to those issues and problems. If you give the importance to them,
Mm-hmm.
then they might stop you from really doing what you want to do. But if you don't give the importance to them, and you don't give the power to those issues to take away from you, then you're going to continue going. And one of the things that I always tell people is, when you have a goal, and the goal is bigger than anything else, then nothing is going to stop you from accomplishing that goal. So in other words, you have to have a goal big enough that it's so big that you're scared of that goal, but at the same time you're scared that you're not going to be able to accomplish it.
Wow,
Does that make sense?
that makes sense actually. I'm actually like that. I want to get into real estate. I want to rehab properties and stuff like that. And I'm thinking, man, what if I don't make it? What if I don't? I'm scared of that feeling that I'm stuck in this dead end job or whatever, and I'm not gonna be able to keep on forward. And so that's one of the things. That's something that's why I like to do these kind of interviews and listen to this type of interviews, because it's something that motivates you and keeps you going. And wow, that is true. I can certainly relate to that.
Yeah.
You just like you said, you're afraid of your goals, reaching them, but like you said, at the same time you're afraid of not reaching them. So it's very very scary. what about mistakes? Is there ever like a big mistake that you've done in real estate that you're like, man, I should have done that. Man,
You know what?
something.
You're always gonna make mistakes in real estate.
Yeah.
That's part of, and I think especially with real estate,
Mm-hmm.
that's one of the things that you're always gonna have. You're
Right.
always gonna have little mistakes, little failures, in the business. But it's not really what happens. It's how you react to those mistakes. How is it that you're gonna react to them? What is it that you're gonna do about them?
All right.
Because if you keep moving forward and you don't see it as a mistake, but you see it as a learning experience,
Mm-hmm.
then you take something from it. You get to learn something from that mistake or that failure.
Mm-hmm.
Then it doesn't really become a mistake because it gave you something in return.
Right. Right. Yeah, it's like a mistake worth happening. It's like it's
Well, I mean, I just think every mistake, every failure is worth happening in your life, and it happens for a reason.
Mhm.
Because there is always a learning experience from it, if you want to take it as a learning experience.
right. Wow. Yeah, that's true. And what about the favorite quote? Is there a favorite quote that you like, or you always kind of keep in your mind? You always.
One thing that I always keep in mind ever since I was 19, and I read this quote. It's find something that you love to do
Mhm.
in life, and you would never have to day working in your life.
Wow.
You would never have to work a day in your life.
That makes sense. That makes sense because when you like something that you're doing, you you don't you don't look at it as working. You look at it as just living, I guess.
Right.
And
So I mean, like that's what real estate is for me.
Mhm.
I really, I found something that I really liked and enjoy, and I fell in love with real estate. So I come to the office and I work every day, and I have challenges and issues every single day, and I go through them and I solve them.
Mhm.
But I don't see it as work for me.
Right.
I see it as actually something that I enjoy doing, something that I appreciate, that I love going through the experience every single day.
Right.
So to me, it doesn't feel like working.
Wow, that's true. I mean, I can relate. I'm that way too. I'm in my 9 to 5 job. I'm working, but then when I go home and I'm talking on the phone to sellers and stuff, I like doing that. So, and sometimes I'm at work. I can't wait to get home to make those calls to go to my other job.
Right.
And so, that's pretty cool. And what about what I wanted to ask you? I mean, I'm sure in your office you've seen real estate agents. They come in and then they do this for a while, then they leave right away. Why do you think that is? Why some agents stay and other ones leave? What's the difference between those that stay in the game and those that leave right away?
I guess more than anything, it's gonna be the drive
Mhm.
that everybody has, the motivation, the fire within you that gets you going.
Mhm.
You see what I'm saying? It's like one thing that you can have is you can have somebody that already has the fire within them, and it's gonna go and do whatever it takes to make things happen.
Right.
But if you don't have the person that has the fire within them, it becomes very difficult to light them up,
Yeah.
to light up that fire. Now, I mean, I'm not saying that it's not possible. Anybody can get that fire within them, light it up and get going.
Right.
But some people don't. They just don't get the ability to light up.
To that, yeah, they just never. Yeah, I guess that's true. And then maybe once they get older, it lights up and like, oh, when I was young, I should have done this. Oh my God.
Right. So my thing is, you gotta look for the way to light it up, for the way to motivate yourself
Mhm.
to get you to that point. And that was like, that's part of the reason why I'm telling you, it's always better to go in real estate full time versus going part time, because when you're going part time, you have another option. So if you're not feeling the necessity, the fire within you, if you're not lighting up that fire every single day, it kind of goes away. And then when it goes away, you're just like, okay, well, I have another option. I can go back to my old job.
Yeah, that's true. I heard people like that. They just decide to give up and go back to the regular job. It's just not enough fire.
And then there's also people that just don't give up. Just like myself, you know, when I came into real estate, to me it was like, I'm gonna go into real estate, but I'm just not giving up. You know, regardless of whatever comes in front of me, I'm gonna conquer every challenge. And quitting for me was never an option.
Right, yeah. I like that attitude. I like that you know, I don't know who, some guy in history, he went on some ship. He said, burn the ships. You know, we're not going back on the ship. We're going forward. You know.
Right.
I forgot who. Some historian. I don't think it was Columbus. I forgot who it was. Have you heard that phrase before?
Yeah.
Where they say to burn the ship. They arrive on the ship and they burn it up. That way, there's no way of going back. In other words, quitting is not an option. You just keep on going.
You gotta keep on going.
And that's an attitude that I like and I have. And what about what's one of the weirdest things you ever seen? I'm sure when you go on a listing appointment or when you look at a house, is there anything weird you've seen in the house? Have you ever seen like a dead body or something?
No,
Nothing weird like
no, I
that?
haven't seen any. I mean, I guess the only thing that I seen that is kind of weird, or I found people that are living in the house when the houses are vacant.
Mm.
I found
Oh, really?
yeah, squatters,
Wow. Oh.
like people squattering in the house,
And they live there. Oh. Wow.
and they live there. Then it's because it's a house that is being vacant for maybe a few weeks or a few months, and they just decide to go in. Homeless people will go in and start living in the house. It's like
Wow.
the weirdest thing
That
that
is
I
pretty
see.
weird,
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah. The weirdest thing I've seen, I really haven't seen anything weird yet. I mean, the only thing that I've seen or has happened is I went to this house to this old guy who was trying to sell his house, and it was a $1 million house, a big $1 million house. But from the outside it looked nice, but from the inside it looks like junky, clutter everywhere,
Yeah.
and so I just thought that was pretty weird, and not only was it weird, but he showed me he was leading me to the basement, down the basement, which was pretty dark and everything. It was like a scary movie. I was like, man, I even have my pen ready to attack in case something happened, 'cause it's pretty weird, like, whoa, but nothing happened. It was just pretty weird for me. And I understand you're gonna have an event coming up this Friday.
Yeah, this Friday actually. If anybody wants to come, I'm inviting everybody. It's gonna be on November 21st, from 8:45 to 11:30, and
Okay.
I'm actually gonna have my wife Monica. She's gonna be speaking about the difference between Life A, Life V, and then also Edwin is gonna present what it is to work your sphere of influence and how the market works with the sphere of influence, and I would be presenting how to become financially free in real estate within working 7 to 12 years into the business.
Wow, that's pretty good. And I'll put the link below the video to the address and everything.
Yeah, go ahead. Invite everybody.
And
It would be great.
Anyway, right? They don't have to be licensed, or
They don't have to be licensed. They don't have to pay. It's a free event. It would be here in the office, and anybody that wants to come is
Great.
invited to come over.
Great, sounds good. Well, Eloy, thank you very much. I appreciate you taking the time to for this interview. I'm sure some of you are gonna get some good stuff from this, some good nuggets and motivation, and hope it helps out. And if you ever in need of representation here in the city, what area do you work? Do you work Cerrito? Or?
I work all the surrounding areas.
Okay.
Yeah, Cerritos, Norwalk, Bellflower, Long Beach, Campton, Linwood, Southgate, Pico Rivera, all the surrounding areas here. That's pretty much my expertise. around
Okay.
here.
Well, there you go, folks. Hope you like it. Hope you enjoy it, and thank you very much.
Thank you.